As we get ready to enter Ainsworth State Park, let me give you a little bit of the park overview. Ainsworth State Park is nestled in the awe-inspiring Columbia River Gorge. Ainsworth is equal parts waterfall wonderland, hiker's playground, and camper's delight. It's situated at the eastern end of the historic Columbia River Highway. The park also marks the eastern end of the popular waterfall corridor that begins at Crown Point and includes the majestic Multnomah Falls. La Tourelle, Bridal Veil, Wahkeena, and Horsetail Falls are also along this route. They offer seasonal camping, and reservations are made up until 6 months in advance. Here at Ainsworth State Park, you'll find 40 full hookup campsites. One is accessible to campers with disabilities, 6 walk-in tent sites with parking nearby, hiker and biker camp area, no reservations for that. You'll have flush toilets and hot showers, which are included with your camp stay. Firewood is also for sale. This is our campsite that we'll be in for the next 2 nights, and we have electric, water, and sewer. And it's really nice and comfortable and very secluded. Restrooms are nearby. We're going to take a walk down the little trail to the restrooms here shortly. Restrooms are very, very nice, as always with Oregon State Parks. As we make our way to the restroom, let me give you a little bit of history of Ainsworth State Park. It's a tract of 40 acres that was donated in 1933 by John C. Ainsworth and his wife, Alice. Additional land was purchased in 1947 and 1966. Original picnic facilities and trails were constructed in 1935 by civilian Conservation Corps workers. John Churchill Ainsworth, born 1870 to 1943, was a prominent Oregon businessman and banker with the U.S. National Bank in Portland. He served as chairman of the State Highway Commission from 1931 to 1932 and was son of Captain J.C. Ainsworth, pioneer steamboatman and founder of the Oregon Steam Navigation Company. So I found out from one of the posts on the bulletin boards, what I thought to be raspberries are actually known as thimbleberries, and they are edible. And also, if you're out hiking in the woods, and let's say you have to go to the restroom and you don't have any toilet paper, the thimbleberry leaves are also used for toilet paper. Fun facts. What I really enjoy about the park are the bulletin boards. In this particular case, they're spending time to show us a lot of the different flora and fauna that grows in this particular area and tells you a little bit about it, which is a lot of fun. As we head back to our campsite, I noticed there's a lot of beautiful wildflowers. It's really pretty this time of year. It's end of June, so we're definitely and getting to see a lot of the wildflowers, which is really nice, and that's all the way through the state of Oregon. So we're going to settle in for the night, and then tomorrow morning we're heading out to Multnomah Falls. Through the busy season, a $2 day pass is necessary to get in anytime between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. We opted out to get there earlier because we don't want to have to deal with the crowds. Multnomah Falls and all of the falls on this area here get extremely crowded. Parking gets ridiculous. So we're showing up at 7:30 in the morning. We're able to have breakfast at the lodge at 8 a.m. They open, and we can view the falls, and we can park right in front of the lodge for free. Otherwise, if you go in after 9:30 or 10, parking is $20 across the street from the lodge. Otherwise, you can park off of Highway 84 and walk under the underpass, and there's a huge parking there, and parking is free there all day long. One of the benefits of getting there early is that you'll have the restaurant, the gift shop, and the falls all to yourself. After 9 o'clock, it is so crowded. There's lines going out the door at the gift shop. Imagine crafting a national treasure on a landscape so revered that each viewpoint is protected. The design and materials in complete harmony with natural elements, and the creation so good that people come from all over the world to marvel at its perfection. This is the historic Columbia River Highway that we're on right now. The king of roads, a pathway along the spectacular Columbia River Gorge. Whether you're seeing it for the first time or know every inch by heart, each time you experience the historic highway, you begin the journey anew. Now we're in a Class B RV, which is about 19.7 feet long. The road is very comfortable for us. It's not recommended for super big RVs because some of the areas are a bit winding. From the very beginning, people have found the Columbia River Gorge a spectacular sight, a place to protect and preserve for future generations to experience and enjoy. And in 1986, the Columbia River Gorge became the first and only national scenic area in the United States, a destination that protects and enhances the scenic, cultural, natural, and recreational resources while encouraging compatible growth and economic development. The Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area is a remarkable joining of public and private interest, all committed to stewardship of the place the locals simply call the Gorge. The story begins long before recorded history, at a time when the river and trails through the Columbia Gorge served as a thriving Native American trade network, stretching far beyond the Pacific Northwest. It was only 200 years ago when Lewis and Clark became the first to write of the indigenous peoples of the Gorge, the mighty river of the West, and the natural wonders found here. Their words introduced a nation to the romance and riches of the Pacific Northwest. By the 1850s, pioneers coming across the Oregon Trail had already settled along the river, finding ways to meet the challenging route along the Columbia. The immigrants built portages, canals, and locks to move people and goods around rapids and cascades. They built railroads as the timber and fishing industries grew. And as America's love for the Model T reached the Northwest, there was talk of building a road. The historic Columbia River Highway is a tale of visionaries, civic leaders, skilled engineers, and talented craftsmen. Without benefit of modern construction equipment and computer-aided design, they laid down the first major paved road in the Pacific Northwest along what could have been considered an impossible route. They did it with men, horses, and innovative machinery, and they did it with an elegance, reconciling the beauty of nature with the needs of civilization. Lawyer, good roads advocate, and entrepreneur Sam Hill envisioned more than a route through the Columbia River Gorge. He inspired the construction of a highway to rival the great roads of Europe. Together with engineer Samuel Lancaster, Hill championed his vision for a road winding high above the Columbia to Portland. Civic leaders John B. Eon, Simon Benson, Julius Meyer, Henry L. Pittock, C.S. Jackson, and others. And in 1913, construction began, and in 1922, Portland was connected to the Dalles by a paved road. Over the years, the Grand Road was replaced by a modern highway and many of its treasures lost. Tunnels were filled and bridges destroyed, but thanks to the efforts of many dedicated advocates, the historic highway is being restored. Today, you can still drive segments of the historic highway and walk or cycle along the once abandoned sections that have been restored as the Historic Highway State Trail. In this clip, this is Multnomah Falls from the top of the bridge. So it won't take you long to see why Multnomah Falls is the most visited natural setting in Oregon. The falls have been popular with travelers since the 1880s, when steamboat excursions and the Oregon Railway and Navigation Company brought tourists to enjoy the natural landscape. Today, millions of visitors come to thrill at the sight and sound of water rushing over the basalt ledge, some 600 feet above, and sent crashing to the bubbling pool below. Multnomah Falls is a memory of Oregon carried throughout the world, an image of the Northwest found on photographs and postcards, and in the words of poets and wordsmiths. Linger an hour, linger a day, lift your spirits and fill your cup. Stop in at the Multnomah Falls Lodge, constructed in 1925 by the city of Portland and listed in the National Register of Historic Places. This is a place to explore, relax, get something to eat, and to experience an international gathering of folks before exploring other sites along the historic highway. We really enjoyed taking pictures up at Multnomah Falls. There's a wonderful paved trail, or road if you can call it, that'll take you up to the bridge up on top, which we did, and the scenery up there is just spectacular. Afterwards, we went into the lodge and enjoyed a wonderful breakfast. They also offer up some fantastic Bloody Marys and mimosas. After breakfast, there's an adjacent stairwell that takes you right down into the gift shop. So we went into the gift shop and found some nice little souvenirs, and then we hopped right back on the historic Columbia River Highway. And we went to go view a couple more waterfalls before we head back to our campsite. These are just a couple of stops that we're going to be showing you on the historic Columbia River Highway. There's actually over 5 waterfalls. We're going to be seeing the Wahkeena Falls, Horsetail Falls, and like I said, there's quite a few more if you just keep going down the road. You're also going to find multiple hiking trails. You can spend a whole day on this historic Columbia River Highway. At different vistas and that sort of thing. It's really beautiful. This is Horsetail Falls in Oregon. It's over by about a quarter mile from Multnomah Falls. We had time well spent over here at Multnomah Falls and at the Multnomah Lodge. We definitely enjoyed the historic Columbia River Highway. Lots to explore. You've been road trekking with Rowan Lowe. Thank you for watching and spending time with us at Multnomah Falls, and we hope to see you again. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And again, thank you so much for watching. Happy RVing.